What's up, warriors? How you guys doing? Today we're gonna touch on a subject that I already, spoke about before, but it's being brought to my attention again. People haven't heard it, or people want to see, what else I gotta say about, how to stick to your relationship, how to, have a successful marriage, or how to be together, with your significant other for a long time, or how to deal with, your significant other that's tired of you, that wants to throw the towel in. They don't want to fight no more for their, their marriage. Nowadays, a lot of people they give up real quick. I don't know what it is, or the circumstances or the situation you put yourself in, or you put that other person in. But a lot of times it's not even so serious, and not even that serious for you to make that move. Because people end up regretting it. People think that it's greener on the other side, which it ain't. How many people have been married over and over again? You just gotta learn from the people that you hang around with, or the people that you know. How's the relationship? How long have they been together? What they struggle with? What they how to cope with it, how to deal with it, how to curb a lot of arguments that you guys have throughout life. Because it's not gonna be rainbows. It's not gonna be like at the beginning. When you meet that person, you want to impress that person. You want them to love you, to like you. You want that attention. You want them. You want to draw them in with the best qualities that you have. You impress that person. You do anything, in your that's under your control, in your hands, to make that person want you, make that person attracted to you. That's how we are. There's no man here that hasn't done anything crazy, for a female. There's not a man here that's went through the extreme to, get that person they want, the person they love. But what happens once you get them? What happens once you, get your end outcome? Was it really, was it really love? Was it really lust? Was it, there's a difference from being loving that person, being in love. There's different, types of love. There's sometimes that people just fall into a relationship. They have kids. Now they feel obligated to stay, or they feel like, oh man, now I got to stick around. Or some of them, they jam. They're not even there for the kids. But the ones that do stick around, did you really love that person? Did you really like that person? Or was there, more behind it? Was it, what was your, what was behind your motive? What were you after? Was it a one night stand? Because a lot of times all that shit plays a big role. All that shit plays a big role when it comes to, getting into an argument, a serious argument, or problems start arising, or, you lose interest, you lose love. It wasn't really love at the beginning. It was just that you were trying to just, get your issue on, and we just gotta keep it 100. A lot of times, people, they end up putting themselves in a situation where, they're trapped. They're trapped. They don't, they don't want to, just leave. And obviously if they have kids, it's a lot more harder. It's a lot difficult, but there is people also that don't give a shit, but then who suffers? Who suffers there is the kids, and then after it just trickles down, because, once a female have kids, or they have multiple kids, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough for them to get into a relationship, or find somebody that's gonna be able to take care of them, and take them in as their own kids. That's one of the problems, the issues that a lot of people have. When they they find these females that they have kids already, and all of a sudden that females, they fall into it. They fall in love. They fall into that trap. They get smooth talk. They get manipulated. Where, like, all of a sudden, they get pregnant again, and there we go. The cycle continues. They just create kids, and the ones that suffer are the kids. So you gotta ask yourself. A lot of people, they just they settle, or they find themselves just hopping around, and being with people, and playing around with their heart. And now that they find the one person that they like, that one person that they want to settle down with, now they get done wrong. Now they get, it bites them in the ass, and And that's why there's so much just man, people just, breaking up, their, marriage just explode. They get to an extreme where like, nah, they just had it because the love was never there. You gotta go after the person. You gotta, not rush the process. A lot of people rush everything. They rush the process where, they just try to settle for someone because they want that attention, they want the affection, and it wasn't really love. It was just more interest, that they were seeking. They were seeking just attention, and they didn't even connect with that person. But for some reason, somehow, some way, it's like, damn, I prefer just, pretty much settle with anything than just be alone. And that's one of the reasons why, it gets to a certain point where like they realize or they wake up and find out that, oh man, I didn't really like this person. I don't even like nothing about them. I don't know why I fucking even, settle with this person. And that's where the problems start. A lot of people that I talk to, that are going through a lot, I always ask like, damn, well, how long have you guys been together? Sometimes, they had some years under their belt already. Some people are fresh. Well, the ones that are fresh, a lot of times you gotta, ask yourself, did you really want that person? Did you really see yourself with that person? Because that's where, that plays a big role. A lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I just wanted to see where it took us, but then that really is like you're setting yourself up for something that, that you're not even so deep into that, those feelings that you have for that person. There's just, you just want an outcome, the outcome that you want, whether it's just to, a one night stand and that other person, falls for you or thought there was going to be more, then that becomes a problem. That becomes karma. That becomes you playing with somebody's heart, knowing that, you didn't even see a future with that person. But and sometimes it's just like you get stuck there. You get stuck there in that, in that relationship where, you finally just drag it on and finally you end up leaving anyway. So, you always got to find that person that you connect with. There is no need for you to just hop around and be playing around with people's hearts because at the end of the day, that's what ends up happening. That's why marriage fall apart because nobody thinks about it. Nobody really analyzes the situation. They just want a one night stand. They want to just be with somebody just because they feel lonely. So they feel pressure that they got to get whoever lands in their life. And that's not how it works. You have to be able to connect with that person, see their qualities, and try to, try to see if that person is interested in you. You got to have that mutual respect for each other. It's not just one way, it's 50-50. It works both ways, So a lot of times, somebody is more desperate than the other, or somebody's just wants to play with people's heart, or, they don't even want to settle. That's not what they want. They just, they're just, all they want is just a one night stand pretty much. And a lot of times, like I said, people don't realize that, you're just playing with that person's heart, and eventually it's going to come bite you in the ass. But like I said, going back to what I was talking about how to maintain a relationship, it's just going to be communication. There is no relationship that's perfect. There is no relationship that you're going to look at and see that, oh, there is no argument there. There is no, they're perfect. No, nobody here is perfect. There's going to have their issues. You're dealing with other people's emotions. There's something that's out of your control. All you have to just tell yourself is that, what you just skip to the end result. All the time, any argument that you get, a lot of times what I do is like, I know that shit is it's just going to cost me, it's expensive. It's going to be expensive in the sense that I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to say something that I don't want to say, or, I'm going to be so pissed off that I'm not going to be able to be productive on what I do, helping others, or try to go about my day, with energy, with productive, positive mind to help others. So all that plays a big role. So I got to check myself real quick and always tell myself, is it really worth it? Is it, am I taking it out of proportion, or am I putting more into it than what it really is? Am I snapping just because, they're not doing what I say, or they're not listening to me? Because that's what it all boils down to. You get mad because they did something that you weren't, for it, or they didn't, do something that you said, you wanted done. All that stems from just, miscommunication, making assumptions, So all that shit could be, handle in accordingly, by communicating, being real with that person, being honest with that person. And a lot of times you just got to drop your ego, you got to drop your pride, you got to just let it pass. It's not like you're gonna go nowhere. Stop making it more than what it is. And a lot of people, that's the number one thing that we do. We end up putting more into it. We're creating scenarios that that ain't true. That you're just trying to imagine shit that's not there. You start making assumptions, accusing people. That starts like a wildfire. It just starts getting out of control, going back and forth, and that's all it takes. All it takes is for you to be doing that shit, time after time, till somebody just, they have it, they had it, they can't be living like that, and somebody's gonna probably end up, leaving. And for what? For stupid little arguments that people have that they can't get themselves under control. It's all gonna be, controlling yourself, knowing that, hey, what? Sometimes that person's not, might be down, might be, going through some shit, mentally, you don't know about it. You come in with your attitude and it just gets out of hand. So always make sure you put yourself in their situation. Always gotta look at it, from from their point of view, and because a lot of this shit is not worth it. It's not worth the relationship that's been, that you guys been together for a long time. It's not worth you guys jeopardizing your relationship over something stupid. It's my point here, because a lot of times that I talk to a lot of people, like, what's the real reason? All those reasons, it's like shit's common fucking reasons. The only problem is that some people can't take it and some people could handle it, and they address the situation and then don't let any little fucking things, derail them or stop them or cause an extreme action like that, like just taking off and leaving and throwing all your years invested just for something stupid that you created. Other than that, hope this helped, and we'll keep bringing this subject, because there's a lot to touch on relationships. Relationships are a motherfucker, but let it be known that, and I want you guys to know and understand that it ain't all rainbows. Every household has their issues. The only problem is that some people know how to deal with it, and some people know that it's just, you just gotta skip to the end result and love that person. Let's run it.